Mythic raid testing has started this week. The first 4 Mythic bosses of Sepulchre of the First Ones are up for testing on the PTR, which has a lot of people speculating. Now, the first 2 Mythic bosses of Sanctum of Domination, which is Targru and Eye of the Jailer, were tested Friday, 14th of May. The patch was released around a month and a half later, on June 29th. If you were to translate this, it would mean patch 9.2 dropping as early as Tuesday, February 22nd. That would be a bit quicker than I would have expected.
That'd be a big surprise to me.
And I'd be very happy. So I hope it's true. It'd be sweet, wouldn't it? And in fairness, quite a lot of the patch does seem to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. I think, lore-wise, Noble... I know Noble is very much like, where is this? What is this? I don't think he's particularly thrilled. I actually have purposefully not done the PTR. I'm going to sort of do it all properly. And not just do it piecemeal for research, because I want to do a first impressions video that's actually my first impressions. So I can't do that until I've just sat down and done it properly.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, you could maybe say one of the earlier time slots is February 22nd. I'd be thrilled if that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, what was the... there was something I came up with that made sense for that prediction overall. I think February 22nd was one of them, because it was the initial release date of Sylvanas, wasn't it?
And the 22nd is Elden Ring's release date.
They're not releasing that.
Ain't happening there.
Nope. That's a very, very good shout out. No one would play... Well, that's not true. I think there's a big difference in people who will play Elden Ring and World of Warcraft, and the Venn diagram is probably the overlap in the Venn diagram is probably quite small.
Yeah, true.
But also, good luck getting a fucking headline in games news that week.
Yes.
That week is going to be just pure SEO, Elden Ring, everything.
Oh,
there'll be 12,000 Game Rant articles about where to find every single NPC and item in Elden Ring.
Well, that'll be it.
And, a part of me wants to say, fuck them, it's trash. But also, I completely understand the entire grift of SEO stuff, because got to make money to do everything else. And also, while I'm being charitable, some of those articles are pretty useful.
Some of them are useful. Some of them... the content doesn't always match the promise of the title perfectly, in my experience.
That's also true. But also, there's
Lost Ark in February
as well. Now, that was originally supposed to be March, and then they announced at the Game Awards it was going forward in February, which is, hey, our game's releasing earlier. You're like, nice, good. That must mean that must mean it's ready. We'll see. But anyway, the Sylvanas book was 22nd, I believe. And then it was delayed by either 4 or 5 weeks, I think.
Wait, when is Sylvanas coming out?
It's the middle of March, or end of March, I think.
I wonder if that's going to be after the final...
Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah, campaign chapter.
Yep, I was getting to it. That's why I think the release date... the publishing date's March 29th, which is 5 weeks. Which lines up almost perfectly, I think, with the chapters based on the usual result.
Because I don't think they're doing the weekly. I don't think they're always doing one chapter a week piecemeal.
Yeah.
I think you get like the first few at the start.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think that lines up for what I think. Oh, the new SWTOR expansion's in February as well. Yeah. Man, February's gonna be some good.
What about when's the new ESO expansion?
I think it's this year. I think just.
Good.
Don't think it's early this year. I think so, but yeah. So that's 22nd is the earliest possible the patch could release, if we're looking at the Sylvanas novel being the campaign's over, here's the novel, just to stop spoiling final details, because the last one is called I believe it's called the Epilogue.
Yeah.
And then it has a reference to a line that we've data mined from Sylvanas on PTR. So her novel wouldn't make sense until that line's out. Or until we know what happens in that chapter, which is the last one.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
So... ESO expansion is going to be announced the 27th of January. Nice.
Oh,
certainly
a PoE League in February as well. Jesus.
Fuck
February.
That and SWTOR, definitely games I need to properly get into. The last time I looked into those was a long time ago. So there we go. Right, next up, the Warlock. Again, they are trying to de-KKK the Warlock set, and sort of further to that, they have. They've tried to disrupt the shape language slightly, so you'll notice the hat is no longer as pointy. With I think whatever way they sew those hats, it's like there's something makes them have a big point at the top. So they're less pointy now, and they have these sort of horns. So it's a sort of thing, which one of these like looks better and has shape language is more satisfying. I really do think it's what the artists went with originally. However, that is, it's too close to the real world thing.
Yeah.
Because like when I see that, what I like the thin helmet. Reminds me of Malfail from Reaper of Souls. But I mean, you can obviously see from the rear why they would make that change, and therefore why they have changed it now.
I do quite like it, the new one.
Some people are saying bunny ears.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, I mean that's what the caption there is. Bunny. But I think they maybe could have taken them to be less like this and maybe a little bit more like this or something, a little bit more like that, maybe. But I don't know. That's such a minor point.
Actually, we've got some new Jailer Sylvanas voice lines.
That we do. Some
were data mined previously, though now we've heard them voice acted. Now, these are some very, yeah. Sorry, I just had a little moment of, we're talking about...
Your efforts are meaningless, mortals.
As, a certain somebody would say, pitiful mortals. Your efforts are meaningless, mortals. Yeah. Woo!
Oh, that's a.
Oh no! The pattern is flawed. So they're defender of the pattern. He's saying it's flawed. We're defending it.
Yeah, we're guarding
the pattern.
Yeah. The pattern. The
Patterns
fractal, the geometry
tend to be, they have like a set description.
Set in stone, yeah.
So, but this is where the jailer really fucks me off. He says, the pattern is flawed. Reality must be remade. I will see it done. But, like, why? Fucking tell us, you dickhead. Why? What does that mean?
What's wrong?
Because all that we know so far, all that you've bloody showed us, Blizzard, is he just wants to be on top and have everyone serve him. So, reality being remade, I don't give a shit about that. What people give a shit about is character motivations. You get payoff for on a character's journey, and his journey is just to be the big man at the top and take over the world, basically. Now he's doing that by wibbly wobbly bullshit, but that's just that. It's just plot stuff. Plot serves character. So what is your point? That's what I want to know. That's why I was even thinking about Denuzer and philosophy and some of that stuff earlier. It's that's what I want to know.
Yeah, we don't really have a
no
why.
Way.
We don't really have a why, and we also don't really have a how. Because the how's nebulous is I'll have the access to the big machine.
It is. Azeroth is at the center of the cosmological chart that was in that book we published a while ago. Death comes from the soul of your world. Your end has come. Terrors arise and obey.
Also, how does he... that's the thing. He's not death anymore. He's not indicative of death.
No, he's just some dude.
He's part of death. But he's... he's more the embodiment of domination magic than he is anything else. He's not really death. Because obviously the Winter Queen's also death. The Archon's also death. So unless he's just being egotistical, I don't know.
Look at that.
Interesting.
He thinks he should be death because he knows better. Alright, so your round is... Yeah, I know I've done this. Right. Anduin encounter. So this happens during the Anduin encounter. Sylvanas, break his hold, Anduin. The strength lies within you. The jailer. What do you know of strength, betrayer? I mean, again...
What do you mean, betrayer?
I mean, she did betray him, but he also betrayed...
Oh, him, yeah, fucking... Never mind.
I mean, he also betrayed her, so it's you lacked the strength to protect... You lacked the strength to protect your people as you fell before Frostmourne. You are weak, Windrunner, and the weak are made to... Serve! Serve! Don't say serve. Oh, dear.
That word removes all my brainwashing.
And then the jailer... See, it's lines like this that make you feel like the devs are actually just... They're just sitting back, playing Soggy Biscuit, laughing at you, where they just say, can your mortal minds fathom? No! Because you've not fucking told us what's going on!
Yeah, it's not that we can't fathom what's going on. It's that we just don't know what's going on. It's the equivalent of being like, oh, well, you're really stupid for not knowing the answer. You're like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know the answer? You didn't tell me. It's like people who think they're stupid because they watch The Chase and don't know any answers. It's like, no. Quizzes aren't stupidity, they're knowledge.
Yeah.
So we're not, it's not that our mortal minds can't fathom it. So you didn't give us the study sheet, Zoval. That's the problem.
I think Nightbot is being extremely aggressive here.
Yes, Nightbot is hyper aggressive.
I'll
tone him down a bit today. That was for Endwalker spoilers.
But that's the thing. Can your mortal minds fathom? We can follow the plot. as best we can.
We
And you can follow the plot. We do.
Yep.
That's why, yes, we have our lore speculation videos that we do because we enjoy speculating about lore. And then we have our videos like the Lich King one that are more trying to draw it all together to clearly communicate the plot straight for everyone. Yeah. But it's like when the jailer says this, it's like that line, not only does it mean nothing, that may as well just be him saying pitiful mortals. It's all that it means nothing. It's just, it reinforces to us how much Blizzard have purposefully told us nothing about this character's motivations and now are trying to cash in on how they've done a terrible job at explaining this character. I've never seen... Like, I honestly think Zovaal, he might be the worst villain I have ever seen in media. He's certainly the most offensive villain I've ever seen in media because of how they have used him and how they've tried to bootstrap him being cool by tying him to things you liked in the past. That's the bit where it almost feels like malicious storytelling to me. I honestly, I hate what they have done with Zovaal, and I hate what he's done to the overall lore of Warcraft. Somebody there saying Meteon over Zovaal, 1,000,000% true.
Yeah. And then the message was immediately deleted because of spoiler protection.
Sorry the Nightbot got you, but I saw the message and I do agree with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep specific words blocked because spoilers are still bad.
When you take inspiration from Game of Thrones Season 8, yeah, sorry, Game of Thrones Season 8's fucking trash.
Yep.
Those same plot beats could be hit very successfully. You just have to do them properly. You can't do things like, I guess Danny just kind of forgot. It was, can we just fire that fucking duo of idiots into the fucking sun?
You wouldn't want... no, you wouldn't want that.
I want...
Because if you fire them into the sun, then all their polluted cosmic dust will the place.
Oh, shit. Yeah, but anyway, look, suffice to say, I mean, I know people, I've done it before, they like to call out. You can enjoy what you want.
Yeah.
I often enjoy B movies and enjoy trash movies, but I do so knowing they're shit. I enjoyed parts of Game of Thrones Season 8 because I like looking at production design, and frankly, Game of Thrones Season 8 was a pretty fucking great B-movie. But please don't let your personal subjective experience of it blind you to the actual results that produced when it went out to a large and engaged populace. Because if you lose sight of why that did not work, and I mean, this is kind of bit more direct in Steve's direction because he tweeted that. It's like, think what you want about the thing subjectively, but you have to understand how it actually played out in reality and, learn a lesson from that. And it's learning the lesson that's the important thing. That's all we can ever want to do.
I mean, it's the same thing we always kind of, I've had to say it before, but, Chad Flynn saying is not true anyway. There's a decent breakdown of how FF14 handles villains that we'll go into in the spoiler cast. It's substantially different. But anyway, the thing about storytelling is a lot that... I guess it's what you say about liking what you like and the results. But I guess that kind of comes down to you're writing for yourself, but you're also writing for an audience. And you're also writing for results of your product being shown to that audience when it comes to making a product. That's obviously the thing. It'd be great if World of Warcraft was just pure, this is pure made for love, money's not involved. But it's made for money, which is a sad reality of things, and it kind of has to be done that way.
It's interesting people are bringing up Tali's video and sort of the context of the copium. And it's like, I do think that Taliesin's video is essentially right.
Yeah.
I think that he goes a little bit too far into the David Blaine. I mean, I really liked him bringing, or not David Blaine, Darren Brown.
David Blaine.
I liked him bringing up Darren Brown because that is really interesting stuff, and I think it does make a really good point. The only issue that I would take is that it's less monkeys and typewriters. It's less running a million experiments and seeing how they all go, and I think it's far more we only see the branches in the decision tree that he took. And that, I think, is the key. And he took many branches. Not all of them worked. But it's not like he had one master plan. And it's also not like he just went and did 500,000 things just to see what happened. No. And I actually think that this is essentially what Tali does think and is the core thesis of his video as well. So I think this is something we're actually in alignment. Where we only see the branches in the decision tree that Zovaal took. And, you know, some things failed, but out of the failure, he was able to work out something else to do. That is the case. I think the issue is that Blizzard that is, I think, literally what happened. And I think where we would actually all agree is that Blizzard have told that story terribly. Because they say things like, how long have I waited? Every event set into motion, every pawn put into play. Another thing saying, the Jailer's never known defeat.
Yeah.
Blizzard, you're wrong. We defeated him in Wrath of the Lich King. Bolvar defeated him when he put the helm on. The Jailer's been defeated all the fucking time. He has known defeat. His entire fucking arc is marked by him overcoming defeats.
Yeah.
So it's like Blizzard have got some very poorly considered lines in the game. And then these things, it's the Jailer saying this to spook us out.
Yeah.
But as players, when we sort of see this maybe in a more metatextual level, because this is him talking to us, but we see it as him talking to our character and him talking to us. And then, you know, we think about the broader game, including even the things that our character doesn't know. And then those things don't ring true. So it's that weird thing. Of course, Soval would like to pretend that it's all this perfect plan so he can be more menacing. That's like what a villain would do to spook you out, right? But it just doesn't fucking ring true in the, you know, experientially because his motivations haven't been set up. Oh, what a terrible villain.
Yep. Pretty bad.
So next up, Sylvanas and Tyrande. This could be from the last chapter. I submit to the judgment of Tyrande Whisperwind. This is very likely the last chapter of the 9.2 campaign that's not, probably not going to be in the PTR. In a recent interview with Game Rant, linked below, it was confirmed that there would be, quote, some very heavy interaction between Sylvanas and Tyrande, and that would be pivotal to the final conclusion of the Shadowlands saga. There is going to be some very... Oh, wait, no, that is what he said, yeah. So, there you go. There'll be some sort of showdown, and I think this is ultimately where Tyrande has to prove she means it when it came to choosing renewal over vengeance.
And she definitely will. For reasons that I can only really say to patrons of the channel because they have access to the video.
Which? Oh, the Sylvanas video?
Yes.
The power of love is going to save Sylvanas, I think.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen what Nikki did with it? It's great.
Yes, actually, YouTube chose that as the auto-generated thumbnail.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway.
So, yeah, there we go. I mean, of course, something like that was going to happen. All right.
Yeah.
Just to go over some other things then.
Yep.
New Shaman Ghost Wolf glyphs, Vulpine and Lupine. Hey, they look great. Lovely.
Yep.
Other 9.2 stuff. We've got some loading screens, which, as always, have got gorgeous work from the art department of Blizzard.
Yeah.
Of course, over here in Northern Ireland, we love a good hexagon. Giants Causeway, we're big fans of hexagons.
I really like how those look without the loading screen barriers. The fact that it's just like hanging over onto the transparency layer is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. To move on then, we got mythic titles where you said Guardian of the Pattern, which, I mean, again, someone has a deterministic feeling plan for the universe, it seems.
Guardian! We're Destiny now.
Oh, boy. So then we've got, so the famed Bane of Zoval the Jailer.
Man, why'd they have to say Zoval the Jailer? Why not Bane of the Jailer or Bane of Zoval? Come on. It's like it almost feels like it's literally, just in case you forget who he is, here's both his names.
Yep. Then, THD, I'm also just saying, really hope they remove the Hall of Fame requirement for Cross-Realm Mythic and just have it right up in Mythic launch and that you redo Mythic bosses the same week for no loot if you wanted to just help out other guilds or go for parses if that's what you enjoy. Preheat sort of chiming in as well, just saying the result is I just log out after I'm done running my weekly Mythic and farm, so maybe some thoughts there. Also, the Infinite Augment Rune. So, similar to the way they've done it in the past, get to Exalted, drop a bunch of change, you will get an Augment Rune that you can just use all the time.
Yep.
Next up then, we've got the Soulshape Journal add-on. This was highlighted by Wowhead in a recent article. And basically, if you just want a nice way of tracking all of your soul shapes and critter shapes, then there you go. It's just a journal for them.
Yep.
I think that's really neat. And hopefully they can carry these things over in the future. That would be very nice. I love how this add-on perfectly blends in with the established UI of World of Warcraft. It's very seamless.
Yeah, I wonder will the add-on skins maintainer throw an LVY skin for that in as well? I wonder.
Oh yeah.
But I was going to say about you saying hopefully they can roll this in. I was about to say no, clearly not. They've never done that before.
Well, yeah, true, but hopefully we're in a new time.
I'm wrong. Click.
Oh,
because they've literally included click and
of
mouse over
course,
functionality
yes.
now. They literally just went, here's the click add-on. It is now in the game. Not literally, because I don't think it did any communication. It was like a recreation. Obviously, because the source code's just there, they could have done it without saying a word to the developer, which would be a bit rude. But, you know, they clearly very much did it. And you're like, oh, nice. So there is, you know, that would be a really cool way for Blizzard to kind of move forward, I think, which is to go, you know what? We're no lot. We've taken our head out of our asses. This is good functionality. We're going to go, hello, add-on developer. Could you, you know, do you have any like really strong kind of, I guess, performance test data for this? So we're sure it won't destroy the game, or we can add it to our base UI. Can we do this? And then go, yep, copy paste the code, make whatever changes the programmers do, and sorted. Imagine the idea of them just throwing in add-ons like that. Oh yeah, and Raider.io, of course, they added that as well.
yeah.
So the idea of them just going, what's that functionality you like from LVUI? Fuck it, it's in the game. Might be pretty cool.
Could be.
As long as they don't put DBM in the game. Because that's certainly a problem for a reason.